Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's that time of the year where applicants of the Erasmus Mundus Scholarship have submitted their applications and probably already got feedback from the programs on if you're proceeding to the next stage. So for most of the programs, the next step for you, if you get like a positive feedback, is to go through the interview stage. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some practical tips on how to scale through successfully in this interview stage. Okay, so first thing to note is that the interview can be in two different forms. It could be a pre-recorded interview or a live interview. So in the pre-recorded interview for some programs, you get the question like few days or few weeks before the required deadline, and then you're asked to like record a video to answer those questions. And the second form of the interview could be live, where the program coordinators or the professors or the people in charge of your program are like live on Zoom call, and then you're there on the other side, and then they ask you a couple of questions. So let's see how to navigate either of these interviews. So first, I'm going to be sharing general tips, and I'm going to be sharing specifics of what to look out for in either format of the interviews that you have to do. So the first thing I want to mention is time zone. Okay, this is very important, and I've seen like a lot of people have missed their interviews because of the difference in time zone. Okay, so most of the programs you're applying to, they are in the European Union using the Central Europe Standard Time. And let's say I'm Nigerian, I live in Nigeria, and because of the daylight saving, the time is like usually changing. Some time of the year Nigeria is like 1 hour behind, and sometimes Nigeria is the same time zone as the EU. You want to be very mindful of the time zone. So if you're to submit a pre-recorded interview, check the deadline they gave to be on the safe side, like give enough allowance before the deadline and then submit. So it's going to be really bad and painful if the reason why you missed the submission of your interview video or you missed the live interview is because you thought the time zone was like 1 hour after or like 1 hour behind. The second general tip I want to talk about is the dressing part. Please dress the part. I know I'm not expecting you to wear like a 3-piece suit and like a knotted tie or bow tie. Like, you don't necessarily need that. But whether it's a live interview or it's a pre-recorded interview, you want to dress the part. You want to dress like you actually mean business. You want to dress like you actually take this program and this application serious. So you don't want to dress so shabbily and so nonchalant, because anyways it's online interview or it's pre-recorded, so you want to dress properly. So the next step I want to talk about is the environment where you have the interview. So you want to keep the environment free of distraction. You want to have like enough lighting in the room. So whether you're recording the interview or you're having it live, you want to keep your environment well lit and free of distraction. Your interviewers don't want to be hearing stuffs falling down everywhere and like causing distraction from the meeting. You know, you want to take this serious because it's actually a big deal. It is serious. So you want to keep the environment free of distraction. Even your background should be free of distraction, you know. Don't have like too distracting stuff in your background. So you want to keep it free, clean, professional, you know. Nice. Okay. And the next tip is going to be about your body posture, whether you're having the live interview or the pre-recorded one. So the kind of posture you want to maintain is you want to maintain an upright posture. Look at them in their eyes when you're giving your answers. Sit upright, don't slouch, don't look around, don't be distracted basically. So keep your focus on them. Try to maintain eye contact because it shows that you're present, you're interested in what we're doing here, and you are bold enough, you're confident to like share your answer, and you know what you're doing, you know what you're saying. Okay, so those are some general tips. So now let's go detailed into what they're going to be asking you at the interview. So in most cases, the interview is usually like in 2 parts. Yeah, so the first part of question people get usually asked on the interview is you're being asked about your motivation for studying the program, basically what you have in your motivation letter, in your resume. And the second part is about the program itself, like the core of the program. So for the first part, we want to know, are you really interested in this program? What's driving you? What's motivating you to want to study this program? So we want to see like enough passion. And for the second part, we want to see how well have you like looked into this program? Have you done your homework very well? Have you Have you like researched about the program? Do you know what you want to come for? So let's start from the introduction. The first likely question you're going to get asked is to introduce yourself. I believe what they want to hear when they ask you to introduce yourself is your name, your background, educational background and work experience if you have any, your volunteering experience, and of course, why you're applying for the program. Make it very short, brief, straight to the point, but make it solid. So for example, I'm asking you, what's your name? My name is Esther Akinyemi. I studied computer science at the University of ABC, and after my bachelor's study in computer science, I worked as a software engineer for 2 years. I'm currently working as a software engineer. In my spare time, I am volunteering for ABC to train students on how to use software applications and things like that. And mind you, everything you're saying, you're finding a way to kind of like link it to the goal of the program. You're finding a way to link it to the goal of the program. So as you're giving those answers, you're introducing yourself, but you're also like finding the connection points between introducing yourself, your background, to the program. And the next likely question you're going to ask is about your motivation for studying the program. So you want to review your motivation letter properly. You might have submitted like 3 months ago, or even 4 months ago, or even 5 months ago, and then you're just getting the interview. So it's very possible, it's very likely that you forgot the details that you have in your motivation letter. And you don't want to say things that are contradictory, because you don't know which part of your motivation letter might have captured the interest of your interviewer. So before they come to the interview, they're like looking at your resume, looking at your motivation letter to see in relation to what they're asking you, if you actually mean it, or if you have like put some lies together there. Okay, so in this part, you want to be very, very, very familiar. I know you wrote it yourself, okay, but it's possible you forgot it. So you want to be very familiar with every detail in your motivation letter, because your motivation is actually one of the biggest criteria for the Erasmus Mundus scholarship. Because you would also notice that in most of the applications, all they need you to submit is your motivation letter, your transcripts, and nothing else. You are not writing any exam in most cases. So you want to really be familiar with your motivation letter. Read it, go over it again and again. Make sure that the information is coherent, and make sure that you remember the details there. So in case they're asking you what's your motivation, so what you're saying should be in alignment to what you have in the letter. And I would also encourage that you should try the things you are not, because I know that the motivation letter might be restrictive in the amount of information you can put there. So the things you're not able to see on the motivation letter, this is your opportunity to sell yourself. This is your opportunity to tell them that, yes, I'm the best person for this scholarship offer. So you want to also sell yourself even beyond what you've written down. But of course, remember the details, and whatever selling you are selling, make sure it is coherent with what you have in your CV, in your motivation letter. So please don't forget this. Review your motivation letter, study it over and over again. And of course, when you're talking about your motivation, like I said again, link it to the goal of the program. So which will bring me to the second part of the interview, which is mostly about the technical part, or questions about the program itself. So for this, it's specific per program, and what I would suggest to do is go back to your program website. Make sure you review the goals of the program. The goal of the program is very important. Look at some keywords that they emphasize on the program. Look at the program LinkedIn or Facebook page or whatever, and look at some materials that they post. So for example, when I applied for my program, software engineering for Green Deal, I observed that they posted this sustainability report, and actually most of the questions they were asking were kind of related to the content of that report. So check on your program socials and see what kind of report are they posting, like the World Economic Forum reports and things like that, and see what they are posting to like know more about the program. So don't be ignorant about what program you're going to study. Look at the keywords they are focusing. If they are focusing on sustainability, try to focus on that part as well. I remember for my program, they were asking things like, how do you see the application of software? How do you see the application of sustainability in software engineering? I actually read a book to even prepare for the interview, and the book is I think Software Sustainability or something like that. Yeah, that was for my specific program. So you want to read as much as you can. You want to check as much reports they are posting on their socials as you can, and you want to read on the program website, more importantly, to see what are like, what's like the main goal, the main focus of the program. Most of the questions they're going to be asking is going to be like questions related to the program, to just check your understanding and to just check your level of interest, so to see if you actually have like the right background to apply for this program. Another helpful tip, which is just an extra, is to find people that are already in the program. Go to LinkedIn and just search for the title of the program. You would probably see people that already studied similar program, and try to ask if there is any resources, any specific resources they think you should study or look into. Lucky enough for me, I had a friend that was studying similar program, not exactly the same program, but similar program. So he shared with me a textbook, which turns out to be like one of the textbooks we used in the first year of the program itself. So the people in the program, they already have an idea, because the lecturers, the professors are already sharing books with them. So you want to reach out to people that are already in the program if you are opportune to meet such people. And the final tip is practice. Practice your interview. Practice it. I mean, if it's a pre-recorded interview, like I said, my interview, I probably recorded like 20 times before I finally submitted the real one. In fact, I got stressed trying to record that interview, because I would record and then I was like, no, that part it's not good enough, and then I delete, I record again, I delete, I record again, I delete. So you want to practice. In fact, if you haven't pre-recorded interview, I would suggest that you write it down. So even if you're going to be reading from some points that you've written down, make sure you still try to maintain good eye contact, because you don't want to like appear robotic and you're just reading from a book. My name is... That's not really good. It means you've not really done your homework so well. So you want to do your homework well. You want to know what's in your points. Of course, you can take your eyes away briefly and stylishly to look at what's in your book, or to like memorize your points. But yeah, that's why you need to practice. Do it over and over and over again. When you do it over and over again, the points kind of stick, right? So you're able to read it, or you're able to like remember it even without looking at the book, and then you're still able to maintain good eye contact without, taking your gaze away from the video. Okay. And this is the same thing for live interview. For live interview, you don't have the opportunity to write the answer down, because you have no idea what they're going to ask you. So what you want to do is practice on all possible questions that you feel they might ask about the program, especially the technical parts. I already told you what they are most likely to ask in the motivational part. So in the technical part, write out a list of questions you feel they might ask, and get a friend to interview you, and try to have practice interviews. Find out the parts you need to improve on and work on it. Okay. Yes. This point is very important. Sorry, I forgot. This point is very, very important. So the thing is, when I started the Erasmus program, and this happened also to most of my other friends that are from Africa, when we are speaking, the professors don't understand. They're usually saying we speak too fast. We speak too fast. Like, I'm not speaking fast. I'm even a slow talker. To me, I'm talking at a good pace because I'm used to talking this way. But to them, they don't understand what I'm saying. Do you get it? So when you're talking, when you're answering questions, you want to pace yourself. Take a deep breath and then reply slowly. I don't mean you should speak like a dullard, but you want to like pace your speech and make it audible and clear. Speak up and be audible, be clear enough. So you want them to hear what you're saying, and you don't want to speak too fast. Bear in mind that English is not the official language of most of the countries in Europe, and most likely they are not native English speakers. And even if they are native English speakers, the accents are different. So if you're speaking so fast, they most likely will not understand what you're saying. So even if you say a very nice, important point, they probably will not hear it. So you want to take your speech slowly. You want to pace yourself when you're talking. And trust me, I had to deal with this for a very long time, even after I gained admission into the program. And my first semester of studying, literally, I had this professor that would always say, Esther, you know what? Take a deep breath. Now, take it slowly, talk to me. And then I would go there. Excuse me, sir. Okay, so that's just for you to know. So if you're a fast speaker, or you have an accent in your English, or you have like a different English accent, try to pace your speech, okay, and let your points be clear and coherent, okay. So I wish you the very best in this phase, and I really pray and hope that by next month you have like the good news, or by the end of this month you have that really good news to share. I wish you the best. If you have any questions regarding the interview, or you have any specific question you want me to answer, please put it in the comment section, and I'll be happy to come back and address your questions, okay. So thank you guys for watching. I wish you the best, and bye.